The Panophobium podcast is brought to you by Panophobium Haunted Home Movies, presenting productions of movies, documentaries, and other creative media. I'm your ghost host, John Alan Hulbert, and I'll be your guide to the other side, with flashlight monologues through ghost stories, family frequencies, investigative interviews, and paranormal places. In this podcast, all about haunted happenings. Do you believe in hauntings? Then let's lean in, shall we? When I was a little boy, I saw my first ghost. There was this man standing by my bedroom in the middle of the hallway, staring at me fondly. I screamed at the top of my lungs and beckoned for my mom. She immediately ran over and picked me up to protect me from what it is I saw. But now, when we reflect on our haunting stories of the past, we can't help but laugh a little bit.
I've already got the giggles.
That's okay. This is the part of the podcast where we get the giggles out.
Okay.
I might put this in.
Oh my god.
I got the chance to sit down to conduct the first ever and very serious interview about my family's haunting history with Carrie Jean McGlone-Hulbert. But you can call her my mom. Once we got the nervous giggles out, we leaned into our fears of talking about the paranormal experiences we've held for our entire lives. How can you talk about these things without the fear of judgment from others? How do you face the naysayers? What do you do with all that scares you deep inside? In any instance, when I'm flooded with fear, whether I'm 3 or 30 years old, I run to my mom. My mom has been my protector ever since I could remember. She has always had my back and roots for me in every endeavor in life, whether personal, professional, or creative. She's my number one fan, and now, the tables have turned, and I am her number one fan after listening to the audio we captured over and over again while creating this episode.
Welcome to the podcast, Mom.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
Are you excited?
Excited and nervous.
Are you excited to be my honorary guest ghost host?
Yes.
When did we come up with this idea to talk about family frequencies?
Years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about years ago, but you've been in so many projects, and then you were living in LA. And then, yeah, you've done so many other projects. We talked about it years ago, but we're finally getting around to it.
I know. I'm excited. I love that we had our original idea for like the podcast cover art was you and I sitting on the couch with like a static TV, and it was us in bed sheets.
Yeah.
But your bed sheets were like floral and flowers, and my bed sheets was Star Wars.
Yeah. I thought that would have been cute.
I've introduced you to this audience already as Carrie Jean McGlone-Hulbert, but everybody is going to call you my mom.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Totally.
Okay, good.
I can be everyone's mom.
You can be.
I do work in school, so I feel like I am already everybody's mom.
You are everybody's mom.
Yeah.
You have a very motherly vibe always for everybody.
Oh.
This podcast episode and interview is perhaps my favorite one I've ever conducted. It's precious to capture stories and memories like this, no matter how spooky the ghost stories may be. The fact that I get to hold these memories digitally forever makes my heart swell, as my mom is my whole heart. I hold so much of her. Her height, her stature, her blonde, and to stay on topic in relation of this podcast, I hold her frequency. My mom has always believed me when it comes to seeing and hearing and feeling ghosts, as she has also been one to spot several spirits in her lifetime. We even had some odd experiences when recording this episode. My apologies, as you might notice some light flickering audio in the background during the quiet parts of the podcast. This could be user error from a fresh podcast host, but it's rather odd as I haven't had any buggy issues with technology until I sat my mom down to discuss our family frequencies with ghosts. The frequency in the background may annoy some, but I must say, it sure feels quite fitting.
So I guess we start from the beginning
Okay.
for this for this podcast.
Okay.
My first question for you is, what do you remember from when I first saw that man in the hallway?
You want me to tell the whole story?
Yes, please.
Okay. So you were probably between 2 and 3. I don't know. You might have been almost 3. And we were in the living room, and you were playing with your little toys. You always had these little figurine toys. You loved Winnie the Pooh toys and different things, and you were playing with them in a treehouse thing, that toy you had on a coffee table. And you were playing with those, and we had on like probably some Winnie the Pooh cartoon on in the background, and I was folding clothes, and Dad wasn't home yet. We didn't have Amanda yet. I think I was pregnant with her at that time. And all of a sudden, you look up from the coffee table and you look down the hallway and you screamed at the top of your lungs, and you ran to me and said, "Mom, there's a man." And I was terrified. I thought someone was in our house, but I always locked our doors. So I was like, "What?" And I grabbed you, and you were just terrified, crying. "There's a man, Mommy, there's a man, there's a scary man." And I didn't see it. And I went down the hallway. The hallway light was on. And I went down the hallway, and your room was the first room off the hallway. And you wanted down, and you wanted to go in your room. And then I checked all the other rooms in the house, which, at that time we lived in a really tiny little 3-bedroom house. And there was nothing there. And you were just terrified. You kept saying, "There's a man, Mommy, there's a man. There was a man here." And you kept pointing in the hallway, like in the middle of the hallway, right in front of your door. And it was probably a couple weeks, maybe a month later. We were at my mother's house, which is about 4.5 hours away from where we lived. And we were in the hallway looking at all these family photos, and I was holding you. And you pointed to a picture of my grandfather, my dad's dad. And you said, "That's the man. That's the man." And I said, "That's the man you saw?" I said, "Is that the man you saw in our house?" And you said, "Yeah, that's the man." And I said, "Oh, honey, you don't have to be afraid of him. He's my grandfather." And, you didn't really understand all of that. But you never mentioned seeing him again. You did always have a lot of terrifying experiences as a little one. A lot of things that you were afraid of, that you say you saw. And I believed you because I also saw a lot of things as a young child, and continue to see things and experience things, and have some very strange haunting experiences even today.
Oh, I got little goosebumps now. How did you feel when you finally kind of cracked the case of what it is I saw? How did you feel when you knew it was Grandpa Albert?
My mom and I looked at each other, and she was like, "What?" And it made me. I was a little upset. I felt a little afraid for you, because I had experienced those things my whole life, and it's terrifying at times. There's times that you see things that you are completely shaken by, and are terrified by, and there's times you see things that you have deep empathy and compassion for, and it's hard to decipher sometimes. And then sometimes you really don't know why you're seeing those types of things within your reality of life. And I know I'm not a schizophrenic, so I don't have any mental problems.
Yeah.
But I was kind of terrified that I was worried that you were going to grow up with the same frequency, is what I call it, that I have.
Well, I do. Thank you for that.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I think it's kind of I think it's something that these frequencies are things that make you more intuitive.
Yeah.
And I feel like you and I both are really good at like premonitions of like things that we worry about that might happen. And I know we're both fairly anxious people, I feel like, but we also have an intuition about us where it's like
deep intuition.
Yeah, where like I've shaken people's hands before where I've been like, oh, I don't trust this person. And I've been in spaces before where I'm like, something is here.
Yes.
Was there comfort in knowing that it was Albert that I saw.
Once I realized who it was that you saw, it it made me realize how interesting it was that you saw him first, because he was the first ghost I saw.
Tell me about that. So you said I was 2 or 3
Yeah, you might have been about 3, almost 3.
So how old were you when you first saw Albert?
I was about 5. I think I had just turned 5, because he died around my 5th birthday, I believe. Mm-hmm. And I was home in my room sleeping, and I was sleeping in the middle of the night, and all of a sudden I woke up, so I had to go to the bathroom. Sorry, TMI for podcast.
Everybody pees, everybody poops.
Little 5-year-old
okay.
has to tinkle.
Yeah.
So I got up from my room, and my little house that I lived in, it was just right across the hall was the bathroom, and so I was going across the hallway, and down the hall in the living room, my dad had a big leather recliner that was facing the TV, but it also faced down the hallway. You could see it from down the hallway, mm-hmm. and short little hallway, and lit up as light as it could be, like just around my grandpa, was him sitting in my dad's chair, and it wasn't my dad. And the room was dark inside the room. Just he was lit up, just him, in the chair, and I looked at him, and then he waved at me. And I waved back at him, and then I went in the bathroom, and I went to the bathroom, and then I came back out, he wasn't there. And I went in my room, and I really wasn't afraid, because I was still kind of, I think, grappling with the whole idea that he had passed away.
Yeah. And
my grandparents used to watch me when I was a little girl, when my parents were working, so I was very close to him and my grandmother. Yeah. And so I wasn't afraid of him. It was my grandpa.
Yeah.
And I was with him all the time, daily.
Yeah.
So it didn't really dawn on me, really, that he was gone, really, until I told my mom and dad the next day that Grandpa was in the living room.
What'd they say?
And they were like, "What? That's not possible." And, and I was like, "Yeah, he was there, and he waved at me." And then like, "Well, then what'd you do?" I said, "I went to the bathroom, and I went back to bed. And when I went out of the bathroom, go back to my room, he wasn't there anymore." and the room was dark. So, anyway, but after that, it opened up a whole mass. I had constant things happening around me all the time after that. After that, I remember constantly seeing ghosts.
Can you talk about some of the things that you felt and saw? So Albert obviously was a very comforting ghost. It's family.
Yes.
I know when I saw him when I was 3, I was terrified, because Grandpa Albert's he was a grouchy looking old man. Like, he's very sweet. Yes. I didn't know him. I was
Yes.
But
I don't remember what they looked like way back then when I was 5, but I remember things frequently coming in around my room, around my bed, and I could hear them talking to me sometimes. I was terrified. I spent the majority of my young childhood burying my head underneath this homemade quilt that my mom made me. It was kind of like my little protective blanket, that as long as I have this pillow or this whole this big, thick flannel quilt over my head, and I lay really flat, and I was always on my stomach, and if I lay really flat, they can't see me and they don't know that I'm in here, and they'll go away. And I would just bake under that thing. My mom said she used to come and check on me in the middle of the night before she'd go to bed, and she says, I would pull back your comforter or your little quilt, she says, and you would just be drenched in sweat. But you were just so terrified that you didn't want to have your head out of those covers.
Just trying to protect yourself from ghosts.
Yeah.
Why do you think kids use hiding under blankets as protection?
I think that's all they understand and know. You know what I mean? I think they try to, I think part of it is they try to tell adults, and adults don't believe them. if they've never had those experiences.
Huh.
So I used to run into my parents' room all the time, scared out of my mind, and didn't always feel believed.
When did they start believing you? Or have they not still? Did they still doubt you?
I don't know. I think they sometimes believe me and sometimes they don't. That's the general feeling that I get.
Huh.
But I'll tell you one thing. When I married your dad, he at first was kind of like, what? I told him, when I first met him, I didn't really tell him anything about any of this for a long time because I was fearful he was going to think I was crazy. I didn't tell a lot of people. I didn't really tell people because I didn't want someone to think, oh, she's crazy. You know what I mean?
It's nerve-wracking.
Well, it is.
It's like a thing. It's
like I said, people think you have schizophrenia or that you have some sort of mental illness or that, and honestly, I just had all these experiences happening around me.
Yeah.
I think that they semi-believe me now, but your dad, when I first told him, he was like, oh, okay, and kind of, whatever. But then we started having these experiences together because I lived, once we were married and we were together all the time, we started having things happening around both of us all the time, and he became much more aware of, oh no, this is true, this is real. And now, your dad, unfortunately, has kind of had some experiences himself, too, even without me being around. He says, but with me being around and you kids, especially when you both are in the same household, too, I think sometimes it even brings a deeper frequency because Amanda has the same things that happen to her.
Do you think we all have it?
I do. Yeah. I think we all have it. And I think some of us have probably a little... deeper sensitivity.
Yeah.
But
I think yours in our family is the strongest.
Well, but I think it's because I've been dealing with this pretty much my entire life. I mean, I'm 51.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I've been seeing since I was 3 too.
Yeah.
But I'm only 30, so
yeah.
I'm still fresh to my frequency.
Yeah. I'm a little afraid of it too. Like I don't want.
I was just about to ask, are you afraid of ghosts?
Yes. So I mean, I am religious, and I don't want to invite things into my life. I've definitely never used a Ouija board or tarot cards and things like that. I don't want that stuff around me in my household. And I'm not someone who's going to. Invite that stuff into my house. We don't have seances. We don't do anything like that. I want people to think I'm inviting that and I'm really into it.
Yeah.
Like I would really rather not have whatever this is. I don't think of it necessarily as a gift. I think of it more as a curse in some senses because, I don't always know why I have these experiences. Mm-hmm. And some of them are quite scary.
Yeah. You don't think it's a gift? Because there's been times I feel like you've been very intuitive. Like when I got hit by a car when I was living in LA, you had a very intuitive sense 2 days before I got struck by a car that I needed to stop riding my scooter to work.
Yeah.
I feel like there are times it is a gift. It's scary.
It was the day before.
It was the day. Yeah, it was the day before. It was not 2 days before. It felt like 2 days before because getting thrown over a car and slamming onto concrete and oncoming traffic was kind of mind-boggling. Yeah. But you
I woke up at 5 in the morning and had an instant urge that I needed to call you and tell you not to ride that scooter to work. Yeah,
and I had just gotten to work after riding my scooter. Yeah. And I was like, whatever, Mom. And then the next day I was like, I gotta trust my mom's frequency. So you think it's a curse, but are there times where something like that happens where you think it's a gift?
Well, that's a blessing. Yeah, that's a curse. That's not a curse. I think that's more of a that's a gift, I guess. Yeah. I just don't always know why I see
ghosts.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not going to be like the little boy in Sixth Sense. Ask them what they need and see if you can move them on.
You're like, go away.
Pretty much. I mean, I sleep with my TV on at night because I don't want things talking to me in the middle of the night.
I also sleep with noise because I've had instances of that. Like and it's usually when I'm sleeping is when I've had my frequencies or issues with ghosts. That happened to me a lot when I lived in Ashland in those apartments and on Beach Street. I had a little girl say, "Hey, mister," to me when I was like sleeping in my bed, and I was just like, "Who was that? What was that?" And so I started sleeping with the stuff on. So if I heard something, I'm like, "It's just the TV. It's okay. It's
I try
just
to
the
do that
TV."
too, to dismiss it as something just off the television, and it's nothing that's really happening around me.
So it doesn't scare you.
Yeah.
But does it ever fascinate
Plus,
you?
it lights up my room a little bit, so then I can see anything dark, and anything light kind of fades in. So.
Does it ever fascinate you sometimes, some of the ghost experiences you've had?
Yes. Like, for some weird reason, and it's only happened about 7 times in my adult life since we lived on Oakview, which you were probably about 7, and Amanda was 3.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's been many years, but I've only had it happen like 7 times. But I am getting ready to go to sleep, and I'm not asleep. I'm just laying down, my head's resting on my pillow, and I just shut my eyes, and I get like a flash, like a camera flash, and it's a person's face, and then it fades out, like a flash fades out. And I don't really know why I see these pictures of people that I don't even know, but I just pray for them. I'm like, Lord, I don't know why I'm seeing that person and why that picture is in my mind of this person, but you know what they need, and I just pray for that person and just ask that he be with them and comfort them, whatever they're going through. Yeah, and it's only happened, like I said, about 7 times, and not like boom, 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 all 7 times at once, like 7 times within years. Yeah. A major expanse of years.
Yeah. Not every day.
It's been older people, it's been children, it's been, younger people. I just don't even know who they are.
Yeah.
Like they're not someone I know.
Huh.
Yeah, strange.
It is strange, but it's also...
So that could be a gift.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think that I can see, I feel like part of why I started this podcast and started making my haunted documentaries and things like that is that these things scare the bejesus out of me. Like it is scary. But I also think that just in life in general, the things that scare you sometimes can also push you to kind of lean into your own life and face things that are scary, to find that it's not too bad on the other side of it. Yeah. Which leads me to ask you, I wanted to get it on the podcast, how do my haunted documentaries and trips make you feel about ghosts?
I get nervous because I don't think you should chase them.
Oh, I'm not. I'm not trying to invite them in. I'm only fascinated by getting the stories. Yeah. I never want to be like Zach Baggins and get touched by ghosts or scratched by ghosts. No. I had like weird experiences on these trips of like weird interactions, but I only want their stories, and I'm only doing it like so respectfully and being like, I just want to, capture the cool, creepy places and then tell the stories.
Well, and you're bringing the history into it too of the places that you're visiting, which is really cool.
How does it make you feel about ghosts? Have any of the things I've shared freaked you out? Have any of the things I've shared made you be like, I want to go? Because I want you to come with me at some point.
Yeah. I'm a little afraid to go to places that I know are really haunted. In fact, there's times I've gone into places and I've had experiences in older places and even in new places when I'm like, like I see something, I feel something, I know it's there, and it just bothers me. So, watching you do this, I mean, I know, I just don't want you chasing things because I just be careful. Be careful what you chase.
I will be careful. I don't want to chase ghosts. Yeah. I just want to chase stories. But I have found ghosts in the process, and then that can be scary. Yeah. Would you ever go with me?
Yeah, I'd go with you.
Is there a place you really want to go with me?
There is some places, I think, like out in the La Grande area. There's some old hotel out there that I would like to go to. There's something about it that's kind of always called me.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that is.
Interesting. It's your frequency.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's something. Yeah, that's something I'd like to see.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll put it on the books.
Okay.
Didn't you ever? I remember. Maybe I'm making this up in my own brain, but didn't you hear his whistle once? You and Grandpa John.
Yes. I was a teenager and I was doing my homework at my kitchen table, and I was sitting in front of the sliding glass door to our backyard, and we had this big field out in our backyard, and so there wasn't anything out there. It was just a big empty field, which is another story I'll tell you some other day.
Next time on Family Frequencies.
On what's underneath that field.
Oh, God.
But my dad was sitting on the couch reading the newspaper, and we didn't have any TV on or anything, and all of a sudden we hear a and I turn around, or I look at my dad, and my dad puts his newspaper down, looks at me, and I go, "Why'd you whistle?" And he goes, "I didn't." So I turned around out behind me to look out back to see if there was something in the field, and my dad turned around on the couch and looked out the living room window that faced that area, and he goes, "You know what's weird?" He goes, "That's how my dad used to whistle to get my attention when we were out hunting when I was a kid."
Oh. Have you ever heard the whistle since then?
No.
No? Just that one time?
Just that one time.
Wow. Have you seen Grandpa Albert since then?
No. Just that one time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I felt his presence with me, but I didn't ever see him again. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't always see
things.
What is actually there. I feel it.
I get that.
It's almost like another sense.
Yeah, I feel that too.
Yeah.
When Grandma Bunny passed away, and so I just saw the. For those listening at home, we're sitting in an office, my mom's office, and there's a picture of Grandma Bunny up that I'm looking at right now. But when she died when I was in middle school, and it was so hard. I found out in the hallway in front of the office, and remember hugging you and Dad crying. And I think about her a lot, and I dream about her sometimes. But there was a time I was doing a show in Ashland. It was my first professional gig. It was my opening night, and there was this woman in the audience, I'm gonna cry, that laughed just like her, like, joyous little...
Yeah, she had the cutest little giggle, yeah.
Little giggle, and I was so emotional. Like, I was just so like, that's my Grandma Bunny, like, she's here.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, your grandma came? That's so sweet." I'm like, "No," and I realized I sounded a little crazy to my cast because I'm just like, "No, she's dead. She's been dead since I was in middle school." But do you think family
comes back
to haunt you?
I don't think they come to haunt you. I think they come to watch over you. I think haunting, I don't know, it kind of sounds negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
To me, I think of it as like, because I think it depends on what is haunting.
Yeah.
Like, when I've felt Grandma Carol after she passed, I felt haunted, but it wasn't a bad thing. It was like I guess I associate it with the word like grief. Of like grief has like a negative connotation of like, oh, it's so sad.
Yeah.
But it's also like, well, how lucky am I to experience, loving someone.
Right.
So when I think of haunt, I think it depends on what. Like, when I feel haunted by Grandma Carol or Grandma Bunny or Grandpa Albert, it doesn't feel like a negative thing. It feels like I'm being watched over by a guardian.
Yeah.
When I feel haunted by, little ghost girl at the Peerless Hotel sitting on my bed, then, that's like
that I don't know.
Like, it doesn't feel like evil or anything.
Right.
It never felt evil.
Yeah.
It just felt like a little shy ghost girl that just wanted to play.
Yeah.
But there are things that I think are out there that can be haunting and that are
evil.
Yeah.
Yes, I've experienced both.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited to explore, or not excited. I'm so curious to pick your brain about the things that were not necessarily full of light.
Yeah.
The things that kind of brought darkness on our family for a while.
Didn't feel like a spiritual hug.
No, did not feel like, Grandpa Albert going. It felt like, I'm gonna get you. Like, it's how some of these things felt.
Yeah. As when you know it's your family, there's something comforting about it, right?
Yeah.
And it's a little more spiritual than it is haunting.
Yeah.
It's more of a comforting, oh, they're still here around me. And not always, but there's times that they are.
Yeah.
So, like, I've experienced your Grandma Bunny being around me before too, a few times. And my own grandmother, my dad's mom, she's been around me, and yeah, you feel and sense certain people around you, but you don't always know why. But I think sometimes they're just there to check in on you and watch out for you.
Say hello.
I mean, we are a spirit after all. We're not just our body and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's definitely, when you think in the spiritual sense of things, the spirit is limitless, really.
What do you think heaven is? Do you think it's like a actual place that people go, or do you think it's a place that feels like heaven for people? So because I've been going on these trips and I've been like, why are there ghosts haunting a hotel or a lighthouse?
Yeah.
And then I start thinking like, well, maybe this feels like heaven to them.
Yeah.
Like I imagine the ghosts at Heceta Head Lighthouse being drawn by a light, and like that's their light, that's their heaven. How do you think of heaven?
Well, I always grew up to believe there was a heaven and there was a hell, and and I do. But I also think there's more people in heaven than what we give credit for. Like if you listen to people that have died and come back. Have you ever read books about people that have had experiences of the afterlife and they've actually died for a long period of time? They had experiences in heaven and they've come back. Often they say things like, there were people there that I really didn't expect to see.
Huh.
I think that's interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think heaven could be like a place in the after for people? Like, do you think Amelia at the Peerless Hotel, her heaven is the Peerless Hotel? Do you think the Heceta Head Lighthouse, that's Rue's
Not
heaven?
necessarily. No, I think that just like my grandmother or my grandfather who's come and gone in and out of my life, I think little spirits like that they come and go into places that they had memory or they want to visit or that they have connection to. That's what I think. So she's probably not there 24/7 haunting the hotel, but there's probably times that she wants to visit, and then she maybe shows herself to someone who sees her because they have that frequency to see her. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Last question to close out. If you were a ghost and could haunt anywhere, where would you haunt?
Oh, that's a good. I don't know. I don't think I would haunt anyone.
You wouldn't check in on Amanda and I?
Oh yes, I would check in on you, but I wouldn't haunt you.
Well, I guess yeah. I mean, it depends on how you look at haunting. I guess if you could, as a ghost, visit anywhere and anyone.
Yeah, it'd be my children.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Dad. No.
I'm sure he's sick of me by now. almost 34 years of marriage.
Woo! Going strong.
Or 33. I've lost track.
You know he'd haunt us with you. he would join you in that.
Dad has a whole different take on heaven, earth, and hell. So, I don't know. He doesn't think that he'll come back and haunt anyone.
Interesting.
So, yeah, and like I said, I'm not going to haunt somebody, but I would love to check in on my family. And I think that, that's maybe a possibility.
My mom's heart is a beautiful one to take note of, as she holds this magical power to make all things beautiful. Whether it be ghosts, the anxieties of adulthood, heartbreak, failure, success, my mom for my entire life has held this uncanny ability, much like our family ghosts, to make you feel watched over. I'm forever grateful for the heart she created within me, as I can't help but beam for her and her stories. I realized while recording this episode with her that we hold many similarities. Same ghosts, same doubts in ourselves, but the one realization I had while recording this podcast with her is that my mom is the heart of this podcast. Our family frequencies start with her, continue through us, and live beyond through haunting, yet heartfelt and beautiful stories.
That was really beautiful.
Oh, good.
That was really beautiful, Mama.
Is it stupid?
No, it was truly so lovely.
Oh, good.
That was so...
I'm sure someone will think I'm some nutcase, but oh well.
They might think I am too.
Well, if you want to interview me again, I got story after story to tell you.
I will.
I've got the evil kind, which are scary as hell. And I really don't like that. But I've got more of the good. More of the good.
That's good.
Yeah.
When we tell the scary stories, we'll do some good eye bleach and watch like a comedy or something.
Yeah. I know, when I go to tell you the story of that antique store.
Oh God, yeah. Next time on Family Frequencies.
Are we still recording?
Yeah, it's been
Oh.
recording, but, and now it's done.
Next time on the Panophobium podcast, I'll be conducting investigative paranormal interviews with some special guests and continuing this series of family frequencies with my mom. There's much to explore through what lies and lives beyond us. Stay tuned, and thank you for listening. Lean into fear.